webinar from Arcade. I am Mateo. I'm here every week on Tuesdays. And today we're talking about custom user verifiers, which is the most exciting and maybe difficult part of Arcade so far. And I want to talk about a specific support session that I had that was essentially like a learning experience also for me. And the reason is that that session was like a bit difficult to handle because the architecture of the app was kind of complex on the surface, right? It's not like truly complex from a design point of view, I guess, but maybe. But let me just make this mute. Just want to see. Okay. So that app was basically using an external service as the front end of the agent. And there was a good question about like, why do I need to verify an user when like WhatsApp or Telegram, they already assign a unique enough ID to this user, right? And that's a very good question because it feels that why do I need like a database? Why do I need an extra thing? Why do I need to implement an extra thing in order to make this agent multi-user? I already have Telegram. I already have WhatsApp and whatnot. I want to just use that as my user ID, right? I don't want to set up a database. I don't want to set up anything like that. I only care about what Telegram says, and that's it, right? And that's fair enough. It's a valid question. And the answer is that you only have that specific thing when you pull Telegram or something, like when you are in that interaction scope between whatever the front end chat happens to be. That could be Slack, WhatsApp, Telegram, anything like that. But the verifier is part of the OAuth flow, right? So it's the end of the OAuth flow, and that will not return to Telegram. For that, you need to handle that as a reply to a browser request, right? That may change in the future. I don't know, but at the moment, the way the user verifier works is that you get a redirect from Arcade on a browser, which is where you have to go to complete the OAuth flow on a third-party service, like Google or LinkedIn or any of those, right? So let me try and explain that, right? So what I'm building today is an example that I can give people to have and to clone and to expand when they want, so that they don't have to rely on believing what I have to say, right? So I put here like verifier patterns, but I'm just gonna draw what I'm actually going to do, which is this is Telegram, right? Which is gonna be our agent interaction surface, right? Make it slightly bigger, maybe, I don't know. So we want our users to come to Telegram, right? And for that we need a Telegram bot. So we will have our bot server here. Telegram bot server. And the way this works is that the communication between um, this is like bot will poll Telegram for new events / messages, right? So it's not truly, oh, I don't know how to, it's not truly bidirectional in the sense that, how do I move this? Oh my god. Can I move that? Apparently I can't. If I zoom out, maybe. Right. So, because we are polling, right? When we are here, we will poll Telegram for new events, and I guess like we will just poll Telegram for new events, then send updates messages to Telegram chat, right? And that's all nice, fine and good. Let me see, can we get a line? Apparently not. Oh, we cannot get a line in here? Interesting. There you go. So, what's the thing? Like, so one of these updates that we want to send is an OAuth link, right? So the user, let me see if we get that user here. I don't think so. We don't, right? Sticky wireframe minimap icon user. Yeah. So our user they will click the link, right? And this is gonna be our super well, it's not something that we, so this will be other, like this will be Telegram app or chat, right? And then, you know, we'll make it bigger. Let me move these to the top, right? Because what this thing has is a bunch of messages, and one of these messages is going to be an OAuth link, right? So this is here between the messages in that chat, and the user will click it, right? And when it clicks this thing, it goes to a browser, right? So this is gonna be browser and maybe Google or that service. And this will be a form saying like, I consent. Then something like, who want to use your account these scopes, right? So that's the whole point, right? That's the thing. I say, you can say I consent, or maybe you say I don't consent. Right, these are your options. Like you say green and I consent, or you say red and, you know, get me the hell out of this site, whatever, right? So this links you to that page, right? It doesn't take you to your bot server, right? It doesn't take you back to Telegram, right? And there's no link here that we can reliably use to send you to that specific chat, right? Because if we had that, you wouldn't need to verify the user, right? So we would anonymously allow that user access to your precious Google account or whatever, right? So what's the thing? Like, this thing is talking to Google, right? And you have an app configured on Google, right? So here you have your Google app, right? And this is configured with a redirect URI that is arcade dev something, right? So this is configured in Google, and when you say I consent, this will redirect to arcade, right? So there is another box here. This is arcade.dev/redirect whatever, redirect, right? Make it SDF, whatever, right? Arcade will get that. Okay, so I say I consent, then this will say okay, this user consented, right? And there's no way from here to point that user back to that specific chat. Right? This is not in a server. This is living in, the user's phone, right? So we can't control that. That is a client, right? But what we can do is, this is a browser, and the browser will redirect here. So we are still in the browser here, right? So this is actually browser, right? Goes here. It's redirected to arcade for a microsecond, and here in arcade you configured verifier URL is myapp.com/verify or whatever, right? And this is happens to be myapp.com, right? So what arcade does is it redirects the browser to that, right? To somewhere where your Telegram bot server can successfully verify this user, right? So there is another redirect here that's gonna be, hey, go talk to this guy, because this needs to verify the thing, right? So at this moment, technically, Google already authorized, so you already consent to Google or that these tokens should be granted to Arcade, right? But Arcade needs to verify that the user that started the thing, this flow, right, the one that clicked consent, is the same one, so that your app knows this person, right? Otherwise, there are all sort of like phishing possibilities. That what happens if I get this URL and I send it on an email or something, and it's not this user, but another malicious user, the one like say user I don't know, none of these look evil, like this one is the, like, this is you, and this is evil dude posing as you, right? If this person gets this URL and for some reason it gets access to your whatever, we don't want this to be able to access your thing through Arcade. So we need to enforce, we need an extra challenge to say this, when you click it, that person has to be the same, right? So only if they are you, they get access to the token for that specific agent, right? So what you get here is flow ID, and your app needs to reply. Whoa, that's a complicated arrow. Say, okay, flow ID, and where's my app? User ID, right? So this confirms that you know who this user is, right? Because you really have a user ID here, right? But this person doesn't have that, right? So if they start the thing and there is no user ID for you to confirm that flow ID, there's no, the OAuth thing, the OAuth dance will fail. So the token will be just ignored, right? And whenever you have an app that lives in a browser, this is immediate because that arrow is still there. But the thing is that this is a Telegram app. It lives in a different device maybe. It doesn't feel like a browser, so it feels that, okay, why do I need to interact with this verification thing if I'm in a Telegram app? Why am I not just getting back here after this flow, right? And the reason is we can only verify who is the user of that thing if you complete the challenge, or if your app completes the challenge, right? So what's required for that is that whenever you talk to this app, the user, right, that the app can essentially map that chat, that session, to a logged in user in the browser, right? So you need the user ID to be here in the browser, right? To be connected to that session. So this arrow here needs to somehow, between, not between that website, but between the connected session, right? Because the redirect will happen on the browser, right? So on the user's browser, right? Not on Google's service or whatever, right? So that user needs to be logged in to your system on that browser, right? And the way to do that is to implement an auth flow, right? So you need to have the auth flow, even if it's only to recognize the user when they have that OAuth flow, right? So what I'm gonna do now is implement this for real, because I know I spoke my way through this diagram, but I'm confused by my own diagram, so I actually need to draw this in a better way if I want to document it properly. But the way this looks in code is easier to explain because it's just faster, right? So I'm gonna get my friend Claude here to help me implement this. So I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna also renovate this Telegram calendar application. I'm gonna say here, Telegram verifier. Telegram verifier. I want to implement a Telegram bot. Also has access to please implement to our open router and arcade.dev for tool. And let me just zoom in here because I have another prompt. Here. That's exactly what I want, which is, where is it? Barnes prompt. There you go. So this is gonna be the thing. To be arcade, whatever. This is authorization flow. I want this part. Instruction details below. Then to lower authorization flow, chat interface, tool display, to results display, authorization error, when error. I want that. Then documentation links. I'm just gonna get the Telegram bot. Where is it? API. I want to implement this using TypeScript only. I will create the Telegram bot. Right, so I'm gonna set the prompt like that. Close this thing, zoom out. I'm gonna say read prompt.md and implement. Let's just plan mode because I want to know what it's gonna do. And in the meantime, I'm gonna create a bot on my phone because I already have other bots like my own Claude bot or OpenClaw that I don't want to dox on the internet. So I want to use Telegram on my bot, and then we will see it together on the screen once OpenRouter is fine, Telegram is fine, web search is fine. Yeah, sure. I want to create a new bot. The bot name is going to be Arcade Verifier Bot. It must end in bot. Verifier bot underscore bot. Jeez. User verifier bot. Jesus. The hardest part of creating a Telegram bot is getting the username because everyone is creating bots for OpenClaw and all of the good ones are already taken. Arcade verifier bot. Okay, there you go. Create bot. I'm going to put my face for a while because I know I need to copy this into environment file, and I don't want to dox myself once again on the internet, and I'm gonna make the most of this opportunity and also add my OpenRouter API key. Telegram user. Should the bot maintain conversation history, multi-turn chat with context, or treat each message multi-turn? Submit answers. Okay. So I'm gonna make this Telegram and open router API key. And I'm gonna go ahead and create this open router AI. I get an API key. Telegram verifier. Create. Copy. Paste here. Then arcade. API key. And this. I will show you something, but then I will go back to my face because this is important. I created, I'm gonna create a new one, a project. Create Telegram verifier bot. Right. This is a multi-user bot app. Right. So I am here in a new one, and the important bit, the relevant bit here, is that because we have to have a server for this, then I'm going to user verification and I'm going to change this setting. This is the most important setting I'm changing today. If I leave it in arcade.dev users only, my end users must be invited to this arcade project and be signed into arcade to authorize the tools, which is not what we want. I'm gonna set this to custom user verifier, and then here I'm gonna set it to HTTP localhost 3000 verify. Maybe I will edit this, but that's what I want for now. And importantly, we need to set up the specific client, like the connected apps here, to my specific app, right? I cannot use this with my own verifier, right? Because these are designed to work with the arcade verifier, and I need to put my own thing here. So I'm gonna add Google to this because I have Google console, console. Arcade user verifier. I already know I have these. Goods and services. Consent screen. Clients. I'm gonna actually get rid of that one. Delete. Create a client. It's gonna be a web application. It's gonna be Telegram user verify. Right. And then here I go to my arcade dashboard. I'm gonna say add OAuth provider. I'm gonna choose Google from this drop down. I say Mateo Google. And here's where I need to put the thing. So I need this redirect URI, and I'm gonna configure over here. So that's the thing. That's how I tell Google to talk to Arcade after I complete my OAuth flow. Then I'm gonna just copy this. I'm gonna revoke it immediately after because I just realized I doxed my client secret on the internet once again, but it's gonna be a short-lived thing. So create, and there it is, right? So now I can use that specific verifier to complete Google flows right here, right? Now, because I don't have a server running yet, it's not gonna work. And I'm gonna create an API key and put my face in the meantime, because this is one thing that I don't want to lose again. So I'm gonna just create an API key. I'm gonna say Telegram server or Telegram bot server. Then create the API key, copy that, and paste that into my .env file, which I'm gonna save. Then I'm gonna close that file. I'm gonna create a git ignore file. I'll say .env. Okay, so now we can go back to, well, let me just check if I didn't, yeah, okay. Yes, now that I'm not at risk of revealing anything, basically what I did is I created this API key and I connected that to my application that is being actually built by Cloud Code. And once this is done, I need a Telegram client or a way to show you my phone, but let me see if I go to this screen and I open Telegram. I want to know where there. I created that. I think I need to start a new conversation from the bot father. My bots. Okay, let's just start. And we will see this conversation. I will just move this here. I have this bot, and now I can just say hi, but nothing is gonna happen. Actually, I need to move this somewhere with more space because of how zoomed in my screen is. Hi. I don't know why. I think I need to restart Telegram because the interface is kind of broken. View, window. Quit Telegram. Okay, I think that's something. Yeah. So this is an error message, and of course there's nothing listening on the other side, so I get no response. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. It's still reading stuff, but very soon it's gonna implement the thing, right? The thing is, I think I need to ask it to do auth as well. So I'm gonna need a better auth thing. Oops, I forgot that. I even draw it. and I forget. So I like this feature about Cloud Code that says I'm gonna explore this stuff, and it's gonna divide the things into multiple agents that work in parallel, and it's working well. Like put you need to make your prompting around things that can be easily parallelized, right? The thing that I don't like now is that I'm gonna say I forgot to tell you that I also want a better off. Let me get better off. So let me just get the docs. Integration for this. I need. Oh shit! Wait. Ah, I entered that. I need login, registration, in, logout, all pages need to be protected. The Telegram needs to send an off link to the user. Register when they first speak to us. Dude. Dang. I don't know what happens when I interrupt the previous plan like that. Let's see. What is the purpose of this off layer? Is it to gain access to the bot itself, only register using a chat, or is there also web dashboard? Both. What kind of web backend? Yeah, Express. Email and password is fine. SQLite is fine. I'm thinking that I also wanted Slack for this bot, so I'm gonna modify. I also have a Slack app thing, like a developer. This Mateo Slack app, and where is the? Oh no. All the permissions. Go off on permissions. Yeah, I don't want that anymore, and I want arcade dashboard, connected users, No, connected apps and Slack. Mateo Slack. Then wait, basic information. This is the client ID. I just copy that and I have to delete it after the video. Doesn't matter. Oh, Slack. Client ID. Create. Mateo Slack. Copy that. Create. And permissions, and then I'm gonna delete that, new one, and that's it. So that should be integrated now, and let's check on that box. This dashboard page, bot token, open router model. Yeah. Decision secret and okay. Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna have to either edit that .env file separately, or put my lovely face on the foreground again, to not dox my specific, like open router and stuff. Like actually it's not a big deal because I can revoke and recreate all of those. The ones that are difficult for me to get back are the OpenAI ones, so open router is fine. Also, then after the webinar, I'm gonna be stripping this down to its core components, and then maybe make a video that is more optimized without just me looking at code, explaining the code specifically, the interesting parts about how to make this happen, going through a full setup of the Telegram bot, showing pieces of the step where I can actually blur the API keys and all of that without having to revoke it immediately after, so that you guys can have a working thing basically. Also to verify that the auth and stuff are working correctly, because never trust vibe coded applications for important things like identity, right? Especially if you're gonna connect them to things, right? For my Slack app and my Google app, this is fine because these apps are in test mode on both Slack and Google, meaning not everyone can use it. Only approved users that I find, so myself and my other email. So it's not that I can just leave it and everyone can authorize any email with that. So even if I leak my API keys in this instance, it's not so bad. But if you're gonna go through the verification process for Google and Slack and all of that, don't Like there are bits that you can bytecode from an application, and there are bits that you shouldn't. And if you don't know, talk to someone that will assess if the boundaries of your app are well written and that you're not doing anything with the data, especially the tokens and so on, that you shouldn't be doing from your users, because that very quickly can get you in trouble. I'm gonna open a new terminal just to go there. Telegram verifier. I can start the server and whatnot. Yeah, that checks are fine. Okay. I'm gonna put my face so that I can actually feel those secrets in the .env file. So that's gonna be bot token, open router. Model, let me just check what models are available, and Sonnet 4.6 is out, $3 in, 15 out, GLM5, programming and science, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with GLM5, set AI GLM5, session secret. I'm gonna just do 3,000 like everyone else in the world, and let's go ahead and test this. I'm just gonna say okay, so now in theory, if I just talk to the bot and I say start, I should get something, an error apparently. Call to send message failed by request. Okay. I got this. Error, help me. Fix. Start. Oh, Telegram. Electrical buttons. Okay. Okay, let's try again. Welcome, you need to register. Okay. Let's register. Um, Oops. Okay. Um. Let's see if the routing to the tools are working. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell. see. I don't quite like that it's using the API directly. It's okay, but I don't like it. I prefer if it would use the client. Because now, can you reply to me somehow? I'll just kill the server because the bot is writing to me and I don't want that. Yeah, a lot of noise. Okay, let's see if that works. Wait, I want to. Yeah, this is wrong. Okay. What tools?
Doesn't hide the path. It reveals the runner. Find your ribbon.
Okay, and now. Okay. Has that memory?
Like a drum. Look at all. Far we've come. Power.
Did it send the thing though? Oh yeah, it did. It did send me the haiku. Cool. So yeah, I was confused because this is you get redirected to this, but I wanted to get redirected somewhere else, and I didn't set up that. 'Cause, but the thing is, we got a connected user, and it's from Telegram, so it actually connected to that specific app, which is what I wanted. So we achieved what we wanted to achieve, which is we could verify the user from Telegram from the server. And the reason why is that they are logged in. Right? So if I log out from here and I go back to that thing, we should get an error if I revoke this. Right? So I'm gonna go. Tell me about who I am in Slack. I don't know if it's. Oh shit! Yeah, the thing is it didn't call it to something might have changed. Right, so it's asking me to authorize again, and if I go here, now I can start this because it's on the Slack thing, but now it redirects me here, right? The problem with this is that if I log in now here, right, we lost that flow ID, right? So I don't know if it's gonna work, but I may click this again probably. We'll see. Right? And this was successful only when I was logged into the app. Right? The experience that I made here is not as polished as I want to, because ideally I want that flow to be suspended until I am in the. Oh my god, this song is so horrible. Right, so I want that OAuth dance to be suspended until I manage to get into the app, until I'm logged in. And there are ways to achieve that. Like my verification endpoint will get that flow ID, and I can store that to a cookie while this is happening. I can ensure the user is logged in, send it to the login thing, to the login form, and keep that, like, pass that flow ID around, so that by the time I'm in this dashboard, I'm not redirected here, but I'm redirected back to that verification endpoint, and it will just redirect me to that success screen, right? And actually, I don't want to be redirected here. I want a success screen that is from my app rather than a key, right? So the webinar is running for a long time. I may implement that as the last thing for today, but I will wrap all of this into a single video and put it online so that it's easy for people to follow, right? So I'm gonna just describe that same thing to the agent here. Let's see the verification endpoint, web views. Okay. Up. This is again. Yeah, forget about that. I don't want to redirect back to arcade. I just want to confirm user. I want. Oh, this. Um, I don't see why it would fail in any case. I think that's one thing. Let's exit this because I want to reload. Um, all right. I think that the webinar has been long enough for today. I'm gonna continue, but I'm gonna wrap the stream here. So then I will make a shorter video that explains all of this and the architecture of the app. I'm gonna polish the code a little bit because this was quite vibe coded. So yeah, keep an eye out there for that video. It's gonna come soon. I just need to polish this, and we will have this also probably integrated to the docs. I've been writing docs for framework integrations so far, but this is the next thing that I want to document more thoroughly, which are how to implement the user verifier with examples, with different patterns, and all of this good stuff, right? People are wanting to, especially with OpenClaw and its popularity, people want to use the arcade plugin, for example, in a multi-user fashion with Telegram, but making But doing that securely is a bit of a challenge, and one of the challenges happens to be the custom user verifier. So I want that not to be the case. So until